Hello, this is Daniel Grady with a quick look at the markets for today, Wednesday, April 30th. We have several major events in the economic calendar today. We could start with some significant volatility here at 7 o'clock GMT when we have a GDP from Spain, as well as an estimate for the inflation for the Eurozone. Then at 7:55 we have unemployment from Germany, which is also a key economic data also that could affect the euro. Then 5 minutes later we have the official consumer price index inflation for the entire Eurozone, and this is a key element for ECB policy decisions, so a miss here in estimates could expose some significant volatility in the euro. Then at 11 o'clock we have mortgage applications in the United States, but this data is most likely going to be overshadowed by later major events. At 12:15 we have a private gauge of employment for the month of March, which could get a lot of investor attention because on Friday we have the official non-farm payrolls employment data coming out. Then at 12:30 we have GDP data from Canada, but that's mostly likely going to be overshadowed because at the same time we have GDP data from the United States. This could generate some significant volatility in the markets. Then later in the afternoon at 1:45 we have Chicago Purchasing Managers Index, but that's not expected to generate all that much volatility. Same thing with annual retail sales revisions at 2 o'clock. This is data that's already been released and it's just a correction. But then investors are going to be focusing at 6 o'clock in the afternoon when we have the Fed's FOMC policy decision, and the expectation at the moment is that the Fed is going to continue with the taper, reducing by $10 billion its asset purchasing program. Okay, moving over to the markets, the S&P 500 moved higher yesterday, but that optimism didn't continue during the Asian session, with Asian stocks closing pretty much mixed, which is which isn't all that surprising given the large event risk that we have coming up today with all the data releases. S&P 500 futures are trading up by 0.2%, looking to a positive outlook amongst traders, even leading into the major events of the day. We're also continuing with first quarter corporate earnings. We have Garmin is reporting first quarter corporate earnings before the market open, and then after the market closes we have Yelp and MetLife also reporting first quarter earnings. Moving over to the euro. The euro yesterday had a relatively strong drop here. This is the market's response to a less than expected consumer price index in Germany, which shows that there's a somewhat strong downside bias with the inflation reports. With low inflation or less inflation than expected puts more pressure on the ECB to increase accommodative measures, which are understood to weaken the euro. So we have resistance at the moment at 138.40, and then on the downside we don't have any strong support until we get to 137, though there are a couple relatively weak support levels here at 137.50. The pound yesterday had tried to get above 168.40 again, despite having some important data releases over the last couple of days. We still haven't had a major move in the pound, and it's stuck between 167.90 as support and resistance at 168.40. The yen yesterday we had, or early today, we had the policy decision by the Bank of Japan, which generates volatility in the yen. The yen didn't get above 102.75 as a resistance level, and is coming down towards a relatively soft support level here at 102.25. Below that we have stronger support at 101.50. And then finally we have gold, which is pretty much unchanged yesterday. It's still between its range of support at 1,280 and resistance at 1,310. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching and happy trading.